Coming up tonight on Murrow News 8. What's happening today after yesterday's deadly crash on the Murrow Bridge?
Plus, the Seahawks are back in Seattle and the 12s are excited.
And someone became a Padre at the Padres game. Those stories and more tonight on Murrow News 8.
From Studio B on the campus of Washington State University, this is Pullman's only nightly newscast. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Surigar.
And I'm Hannah Ray Lambert. Thanks for joining us tonight.
International students are still coming with grips with the accident that occurred yesterday on the Aurora Bridge in Seattle. Murrow News 8's Bethany Bloomer gives us the latest news on this story.
Tonight, tow trucks hauled away the mangled charter bus and damaged Ride the Duck vehicle off the Aurora Bridge more than 9 hours after the massive crash. Yesterday morning, firefighters scrambled to get to the victims. Rescuers climbed into the destroyed charter bus and Ride the Duck vehicle to look for survivors. 4 passengers were killed when the vehicle collided in the middle of the bridge.
Got out of my car and there were just bodies just everywhere. Just people laying in the street. They just got thrown from the duck bus.
Rescuers worked quickly, putting critical victims on this red tarp and those with less severe injuries on the yellow. More than 50 people were rushed away in ambulances. Lance Jacobson was driving right behind the duck vehicle.
The duck was he kind of veered into the middle lane a little bit, and then he veered over to the right, and he overcorrected as he was getting too close to this barrier. He overcorrected and just shot across all 3 lanes at full speed, no brakes, no nothing, and hit the side of that bus.
Witness Kyle Bolt passed the duck vehicle right before the crash.
I happened to just look to the right, and I saw its left front tire was like that, almost a 45-degree angle. And quickly, I was just thinking that's strange.
International students and staff members from North Seattle College who were taken by surprise.
We have just playing and take some photos, then just something happened.
Ziru Jha is okay, but dozens of people who were on that bus with her had to be taken to the hospital. Several students were killed.
I'm really lucky.
Reporting for Murrow News 8, I'm Bethany Bloomer.
Moscow police arrested a man yesterday suspected of robbing a Wells Fargo bank in the city on September 18. 31-year-old Ibrahim Arar used a disguise he allegedly bought at a Pullman store to hide his identity during the robbery. The Moscow Police Department says the help of the community was essential in obtaining leads for finding him. Arar faces charges of robbery and grand theft and is in custody of the Latah County Jail.
The Seattle neighborhood Ballard will give a fresh start to homeless people. The Low Income Housing Institute is almost finished with a project that will allow homeless people an urban rest stop where they can shower and wash their clothes. The Ballard location consists of 5 new showers, restroom facilities, washers and dryers, and a health exam room with a visiting nurse. And in Los Angeles, the City Council declared a state of emergency on homelessness earlier this week. The council is calling for $100 million to help address the growing crisis. Due to a shortage in affordable housing and lack of emergency shelter, there are more than 25,000 homeless residents in LA. Some of those residents live on the city's infamous Skid Row, a makeshift camp on public sidewalks that stretches blocks.
Pope Francis arriving on U.S. soil has people waiting in masses for a glimpse of the religious figure. As a motorcade of large SUVs and motorcycles arrive, many people are anticipating the sight of a long, black, bulletproof limo, when they see instead a Fiat. The Pope is the first in history to arrive in this type of vehicle. He has made headlines before for choosing to take the subway when he became cardinal in Argentina. Many are seeing this as a symbol to his devotion to helping people. Pope Francis addressed the world leaders from United Nations in New York this morning to take actions regarding the environment and thirst for power. The Pope said that Christians and other religions believe that man is meant to care for the environment and not abuse it. He said the destruction of the environment is a result of a system too focused on the individual rather than the whole. The United Nations event was the first on the Pope's itinerary today after traveling from Washington. The Pope is scheduled to travel to Philadelphia on Saturday.
Speaker of the House John Boehner announced this morning that he will resign from his position after nearly 4 years of service. Boehner made the surprise announcement in a private meeting with members of the Republican Party. Boehner also said earlier this morning at a news conference that he planned on stepping down last year. The majority of members in the House of Representatives will elect a new leader in the near future. Boehner was elected to Congress in 1990. And Vladimir Putin and Barack Obama are scheduled to meet on Monday in New York. This will be their first face-to-face encounter in nearly a year. The White House said Monday's meeting was arranged at Putin's request, and despite differences with Russia, Obama felt it would be irresponsible not to assess whether progress could be made on the Ukraine and Syria crisis.
Eugene police are closer to purchasing about 170 body cameras thanks to a $249,000 grant the department has received from the U.S. Department of Justice. The grant will help the department outfit officers, sergeants, and detectives with devices. Officials say they plan to have officers use the body cameras next year. A 50-year-old hiker was found in central Idaho after being lost for days. John Sane was tracking wildlife alone in a remote wilderness area when his foot slipped between two logs, leaving him badly injured and unable to walk. Sane was flown to a Boise hospital and is recovering from a leg surgery.
A Colfax native does not want the Korean War to be forgotten. Bob Lawn introduces his book called Excitement, Shot At and Missed, where he shares some heartbreaking stories of his brother and the fellow Marines who fought the exhausting war. The author gives insight and explains why people fought the war and what exactly they went through in Korea. It's that time of year again. Apple has released a new iPhone. Murrow News 8 reporter Megan Abundis is on the call.
Apple fans around the world are rejoicing. The new iPhone 6S and 6S Plus hit the stores early this morning with hundreds of people lined up. They are available at Apple stores, carriers, and authorized resellers. Analysts expect 12 million phones to fly off the shelves in this first weekend. Apple CEO Tim Cook says the phones are much stronger with a slightly smaller battery and better cameras. It also is relatively easier to repair and includes this exciting new feature.
7-inch Retina display in the 6S Plus, and those displays are covered by a brand new glass that's the strongest in the industry. It's made with a dual ion exchange process, and they're incredibly durable.
Back in Pullman, retailers open their stores early to fulfill their customers' demands. They have stocked shelves with new case options and screen protectors.
iPhone users can now upgrade from cracked screens and broken lock buttons to new, innovative technology. In Pullman, I'm Megan Abundis.
Attorney General Bob Ferguson has filed a motion asking the state Supreme Court to reconsider its ruling that Washington's charter school law is unconstitutional. The Supreme Court ruled earlier this month that the privately operated, publicly funded charter schools do not qualify as common schools under Washington's Constitution and cannot receive public funding. There is no timeline on when the court may rule on the request. The Seattle School Board has declared a one-year moratorium on out-of-school suspensions for elementary school students who commit nonviolent offenses. The resolution ends suspensions for disruptive conduct, rule breaking, and disobedience. The district says it hopes the resolution will make discipline more consistent from school to school. The board passed a resolution Wednesday to start the moratorium this school year.
This week in the arts, local painters got some fresh air and sunshine during the 7-day Palouse Plein Air competition. I went out with artists Aaron Johnson and Forrest Dickinson earlier this week in Moscow to learn more.
Mounted onto
20 Palouse-based artists took their palettes outside this week for the 6th annual Palouse Plein Air painting competition. The French expression means in the open air, a painting style artists have long practiced. But Aaron Johnson was instrumental in starting a city-organized event in Moscow.
What I like about plein air and the Palouse is we invite artists to come and say, we're not going to tell you where to paint, you tell us what you think is interesting about the Palouse.
I'm pretty much a professional observer. I just get to sit here and look at the color of grass or leaves, and then if it's good enough, somebody will pay me money for it.
But painting outside doesn't always go smoothly.
It's challenging. Everything's moving while you're painting.
However, Johnson says plein air painting offers something that can't be achieved in the studio.
When I'm making a painting, that's on plein air is I'm not just painting and copying this little spot right here that I'm looking at, but I'm painting the whole experience of being in this place.
The reception and awards ceremony is tonight at the Pritchard Art Gallery in downtown Moscow. The one-day sale takes place tomorrow from 9 to noon in conjunction with the farmers market.
After the break, we'll find out when to head outside to see the rare supermoon.
And Scott will let us know if the weather will cooperate. Stay with us.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning. 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
The start of fall has brought warm weather due to the El Niño this year. The El Niño is bringing above normal dryness in the northwest region, according to Washington State University meteorologist Nick Lloyd. Although some might be happy to wear shorts and flips this fall, the warm weather is continuing the drought in Washington State.
The rare combination of the supermoon and a lunar eclipse will occur this Sunday night. According to NASA, the lunar event can make the orb appear 14% larger and 30% brighter than a typical moon. Look east just above the horizon after 6:30 p.m. You will see something that last happened in 1982 and won't happen again until 2033. That's really cool. I'll have to check it out this weekend.
Scott, will we need to grab a jacket when we watch the supermoon?
Yes, Jeremy, you will need to grab a jacket for the supermoon. It'll be a little cold, but the skies will open up nice. If you look out right now, currently it is 67 degrees. Our high was 79, a little bit above our average of 71. Winds were calm at 5 miles an hour. Now, if we go ahead and look at tomorrow, you're going to see that it'll be a little warm in the morning at 67 degrees. Afternoon, it'll be 70, so it'll only warm up a couple more degrees. In the evening, it'll be 56 and clear. Now, if we go to the state map, you're going to see Seattle, Olympia, Vancouver. They are all, Seattle, Olympia, Vancouver are all rain right now. Wenatchee and Yakima, they are cloudy. And Spokane and Pullman is 77 and sunny right now. And then if we look at the 5-day forecast. All right, if we look at the 5-day forecast, you're going to see Sunday, all 5 days are going to be sunny. Monday is going to be your warmest at 76 degrees. That's all your weather for today. After the break, Colby Crosley tells us about the busy WSU sports weekend.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebird? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun?
Get caught buzzed driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom. It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzzed driving is drunk driving.
And we are back. I'm Colby Crosley with all your sports news. Washington State volleyball team battled cross-state rival University of Washington last night in a match that went 5 sets. WSU came out hot, winning the first set 25-22, handing the Huskies their first opening set loss of the season. However, the Cougars couldn't pull off the victory and ended up losing in 5. Kyra Holt led the Cougars with 14 kills and 10 digs. It's going to be a busy weekend for Cougar athletics as the soccer, volleyball, and rowing teams will all be in action. The 7-1 WSU women's soccer team starts Pac-12 play Sunday against the Sun Devils at Arizona State, while the volleyball team is looking to bounce back from last night's loss and will be in a home action tomorrow as they battle it out with Pac-12 rival Utah. The rowing team is looking to return to nationals for the 6th time in 7 years as they start the season tomorrow by traveling to Priest River, Idaho to participate in the head of the Pend Oreille Regatta. The high school football coach who told his players to take out the referee has now retracted his previous statement, saying he only took the blame to protect his players. While Breed now denies he told the players to target the ref, there is evidence from the statements by the players that the coach directed them to. Coach Matt Breed resigned yesterday. Former FIFA president Sepp Blatter is in hot water after the Swiss Attorney General opened a criminal case against him for suspicion of criminal mismanagement. The Office of the Attorney General is examining joint contract between Blatter and the Caribbean Football Union and an alleged disloyal payment to UEFA president Michael Platini. Blatter resigned last June after serving the 5 terms as the head coach of the soccer giant. The Seahawks will host the Chicago Bears Sunday in the home opener as the Hawks look for their first win of the season. Pro Bowl strong safety Cam Chancellor ended his holdout this week and could possibly be available for the game. Kickoff is set for 1:25 Sunday on CBS. That's all your sports for tonight. Coming up after the break, what does a ballpark and a baby have in common? We'll let you know when we come back. That was rough.
Son, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Here's something you don't always see at the ballpark. During the Padres-Giants game last night in San Diego, a woman gave birth to a baby boy. An on-staff nurse at the stadium just happened to be a midwife and helped deliver the baby during the 3rd inning of the game. The little boy will be named Levi. Nurse Donna says this is the first and hopefully last baby to ever be born at the stadium. The Washington Public Disclosure Commission has sent its campaign finance investigation of anti-tax initiative promoter Tim Eyman to the Attorney General's office. The commission voted unanimously to refer the 3-year-old inquiry for possible criminal charges or civil penalties. Eyman's attorney says he believes his client will prevail once he can fully defend himself.
An Idaho's high school is telling its cheerleaders bare legs are allowed at games, but not in the classroom. Post Fall High School near Coeur d'Alene is requiring cheerleader in-game uniforms to wear leggings or campus-issued sweatpants during class. Post Fall superintendent says the issue is a matter of adhering to dress code.
If you've been on social media, you might have seen a story that blew up online Tuesday night. In New York, Pizza Rat became a new star in just a day. Jeannie Mose has more on the story.
And they hate rats, so imagine combining the two. A video showing a rat struggling to drag an entire slice of pizza down subway stairs. Faster than you can say Pizza Rat, the 14-second video went viral, a slice of New York life. Using hashtag Pizza Rat, the tributes poured in. Pizza Rat! Pizza Rat! One fan in a rat suit danced, holding a slice of pizza. Another asked, does Pizza Rat deliver?
Amazing and ridiculous.
That's how the guy who shot the video describes it. Comedian Matt Little was heading home from work in the middle of the night when he and a friend stumbled on the scene.
A lot of people are saying that they see themselves in Pizza Rat. My friends were saying, Je suis Pizza Rat.
The New Yorker wrote a piece from the rat's point of view. I did what any self-respecting New Yorker would do. I grabbed that pizza like I'd paid for it, and I kept walking. Pizza Rat became a metaphor for what it takes to survive in New York City, shouldering burdens twice your size.
You do the best with what you're given. And
even crappy pizza.
Even crappy pizza.
In this city, how you handle your pizza matters.
Are you eating it with a fork? A f***ing fork!
It also matters how you handle your fear of rats. Wake up, buddy. There have been videos before of rats carrying pizza slices.
It ain't gonna fit in your hole.
But none have struck a nerve.
Live your best life.
By the end of next month, we could all be wearing Pizza Rat. New York's hottest Halloween costume has arrived. Now, if your subway train doesn't arrive...
All you people over there, there's no service.
If this isn't service, I don't know what is. Jeannie Mo, CNN, New York.
Residents in a remote community on a Canadian island are convinced they're hearing Sasquatch at night. Strange screams and howls throughout the night have some of the residents feeling unsettled, while skeptics dismiss the sounds as merely wild dogs. British Columbia has the highest number of Bigfoot sightings out of any province in Canada, with 130 recorded sightings between 1924 and 2013.
Now, why is that bachelor holding a baby?
And are Kylie Jenner and Tyga engaged? Rex Entertains You is after the break.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
A mama bear and her 2 cubs ran for cover yesterday after being chased by a house dog in Puyallup. The three bears ran up a tree in Nola and Tom Sinkowicz's backyard at 6 a.m. The Department of Fish and Wildlife tried to lure the bears down from the tree by scenting the tree with vanilla extract and sardines. The bears eventually left the tree at around 10 p.m. and wandered off. Traps are placed around town in an effort to relocate the bears.
Some people really hate those eight-legged freaks. A woman jumped from her moving car after discovering a spider on her shoulder, which led her vehicle to crash and injure her 9-year-old son, who she left in the car. Her son jumped into the driver's seat to try and stop the car, but hit the gas pedal instead of the brake.
Now, as if running 26.2 miles wasn't hard enough, now this man, an Ohio man, plans on attempting a Guinness World Record in the process. David Livingston of Wooster, Ohio, is planning on jumping rope for the entirety of the race. In order to set records, the Livingston must complete the course in under 4.5 hours. At that time of the week of the entertainment, Guru Rex Carlin has all your news from the land of stars.
Welcome to Rex Entertains You. I'm Rex. I'll be entertaining you. If you feel far removed from the Hollywood gossip scene, I have everything you need to stay in tune with all the big news. E! News is reporting Kylie Jenner and Tyga are not engaged, even though Tyga referred to Jenner as his fiancée on a Snapchat video. Come on, we've all been there. A source told E! News that while the couple is serious, they're not set to tie the knot. Me neither, Tyga. Me neither. Tyga's good friend Chris Brown is experiencing more travel issues regarding tour stops, this time involving Australia. The country is denying entry to Brown, citing a lack of character. Breezy has already been denied visas in the UK, Canada, and New Zealand. Brown only has 192 more countries to upset before he'll cover the whole world. Tennis star Serena Williams was seen in Toronto hanging out with Drake's mom. As we all know, if your girl is hanging out with your mom, things are getting dangerously serious. And now it's time for Rex's movie picks of the week. With me, Rex. My 3 picks for the week are Everest, a dramatic tale of a journey up the world's tallest mountain. The Visit, a story about a trip to grandparents' house gone terribly wrong. And finally, The Intern. I was an intern once, so you can imagine that movie is about me. Sadly, that's all for Rex Entertains You this week. It's a big world out there, but the exciting stuff only happens in Hollywood. Right, guys?
I don't know, Rex, my weekend looks pretty exciting. And that's all the news we have for you today.
Join us every weeknight at 7 and 10 o'clock. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter.